Hello, everybody. I got to yell a little bit to get over the music. I'm excited to use the new Rumble software very soon. It was just so glitchy last time I used it. But I don't think you can hear me when I'm playing the music. But I think on the Rumble, the new Rumble software, I can pot it down and be all cool and just be like, By the way, if you're watching the show right now, you know I'm on an hour early tonight, unannounced. That's right, 1 hour early. Really, the answer's pretty easy. I got to pick up somebody at the airport, specifically my prometida, aka my fiance. So there you go. By the way, World Cup coming to LAX, coming to LA, coming to LA, but really coming to LAX. It is going to be interesting, to say the least. USA versus Paraguay is what we got here. I don't think anyone's really dying to see that match, but there you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to kick things off. We're going to slow roll it. I mean, what are you going to do? I'm on an hour earlier than usual. I'm not going to stress about it, but I wanted to do the show regardless of the numbers, regardless if anyone knew it was going to happen. Originally, I was going to do it at 10, but it just didn't work out. Oh, and right before I started the show, as y'all know, my pet project, my passion project is the show. I'm going to kill this bug because it's driving me crazy. Okay, hang on. Got him. Sorry, bro. You're making me nuts. Gross. Anyway, I was being all Buddhist, and I'm like, I'm not going to kill that bug because it's not a roach, and it's not a mosquito, and it's not bothering anybody. And then it started bothering me, and I'm like, well, now it's bothering me because it's like, I'm like, all right, sorry, bro. You'll be reincarnated in a better form, I guarantee it. Anyway, I interrupted my own great news. So I did get some good news. I'm doing the show Autastic. I'm actually working on the poster. Probably this week I'll have the poster up. I should have the tickets going live next week, I'm hoping. And that's going to be at the Hollywood at the Stephanie Fury Theater. It's supposed to be July 25th, which is a Saturday at 7 p.m. I now have booked another show at a college. My first college gig with this show, which is, the goal of this show is I want to get it out to as many places as I can, including colleges, universities, things like that. I'm starting locally in the LA area and surrounding areas, and then I'm hopefully going to take it nationally. It's a really good show. It's won some awards. It was 30 minutes when I started it. It's now 45. The new show that I'm doing this in a month or two is going to be 45 minutes, and I'm really hoping to just start touring come fall. So I'll taking the show on the road, folks. That's the plan. And you can come check out Autastic, which is a great show. It's a story of my son and his journey through autism. And, it's real. It's a real show, man. It's funny. It's comedic first and foremost, because that's what I like to keep it light. But there's some heavy shit in there. And people seem to be reacting well to it. I think it's very unifying. I think it's very good for anyone who's got a special needs child or someone on the spectrum. All right, folks. Hey, maybe you just want to laugh. It's a funny show. You might cry a little. All right, here we go. Let's get started with the show, shall we? An hour early, rocking and rolling. Yes, that was great. I got that right before the show because I've been hitting a lot of colleges, and some are just like, It's like they don't even, I'm like, all right. But I'm starting to, I've got a couple bubble shows, and this one I think is a done deal. So there you go. All right, let's get started. Am I the asshole on Reddit? By the way, welcome to Jeff the Unlicensed Therapist, the show where you, the audience, can ask me questions. I actually answered somebody's question a little while ago, but I'm not sure. It was in the comments. When I say comments, I mean like ideally in the live comments as we go. But you can also put it. Let me see if I can find it. You can also put it in the like the show comments, but it's I don't see those right away. So let me go to Rumble here. I'll pull this up. Just pull up the comments here. Really, they got Peekaboo Gaming instead of me. The guy's got like 400 followers, but somebody loves him at Rumble. Somebody loves him at Rumble. All right, let me go here to my content. And okay, I got to go one show back. By the way, last show had 110,000 views, so that's not too shabby. Now they're gonna play this, and then I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I don't want to hear this. All right, Alice. Something about in stereo. Something about that lead-in commercial. I don't like I don't like whisper. I don't like that. I don't like ads that start this way. It's like, so I don't know what it's like, nails on a chalkboard to me, which is weird because they're whispering. You would think it would not be. All right, so here's what this person wrote. All right, so there we go. This person said, "Am I the asshole?" Yeah, I forgot. It's kind of she wrote, "Am I the asshole? My husband died. My girlfriend has been trying to help. I do not want anything moved or any help. You know, I mean, that's what you're going through. That's what you should be respected for. I have been so grouchy with her. And again, don't feel bad about that because that's, you're going through some shit. She knows you're going through some shit. That's what a good friend does. I feel sad about it, how I'm reacting, but I'm mourning and not ready for anything. Yeah, I mean, every grieving process is different. So yours is yours. It's unique to you. And you don't need to apologize for it as long as you're not punching people or something or slashing their car tires. I don't know why you do that. The doctor even put me on pills, which I don't love, but I get it. If you're really depressed or something, yeah, pills can do. But ideally, you want to get off those pills as soon as you can and use your real coping mechanisms and not dulling mechanisms like medications, numbing medications like medications. Alcohol would be in there too. Hard drugs, narcotics, or prescription pills. It's all kind of the same milieu. You said, I just want to be left alone when I'm at home. I get it. I think I'm the asshole. No, you're not. 42 years, my guy spoiled me. Now I'm regrouping. Sad. Don't worry about it. I mean, well, don't worry about you being an asshole. You're just regrouping. Like I said, you're going to get through this. But it's just going to take time. It's just going to take time. And there's nothing, you can't rush it. I wish I could tell you, yeah, it's going to be great. You'll be swell. But it's going to take some time. So thank you for putting that in. By the way, if you want to put it in the comments next time, in the live comments, we'll do it live. But you do it either. But I'm just telling you, if you put it in the show comments and not the live, the chat, I might not even read it. Honestly, I don't always, especially things are getting busier. All right, let's get to Am I the Asshole? And we'll share that. Let me see if I can find it though. Am I the asshole? There we go. Boom shakalaka, boom. Okay. Am I the asshole for not claiming, for not claiming my husband's speeding ticket, which caused him to lose the license? I would say it's a douche move. If it's going to lose him the license, I mean, are you trying to teach him a lesson? Doesn't he need to drive to get to work? Isn't your life going to be more difficult with him not being able to drive legally because now you are his de facto Uber driver to and from work or to and from his friends or to and from the bar? I don't know what your relationship's like, but let's see. We'll find out some more information right here. But I think you shot yourself in the, what is it? You bit your nose to spite your face, or you cut your nose off to spite your face. All right, disclaimer: we're not in the U.S. and rules may differ. All right, there you go. My husband got a speeding ticket going over 28 kilometers. Well, you didn't have, well, you could be Canada, I guess. Over the speed limit in a 50-mile-an-hour zone. I don't know. That's just all. That's like Arabic to me. I don't know what that even is. I don't know what 50 kilometers is. I don't know what 28 over is. But you're going more than 50% over the speed limit. How about that? Because camera catches only the license plate, he could claim someone else is driving. Okay. That person would get an email notification, and if accepted, the fine would go to them. I think the move is you take the fine. Unless it really depends who's working, who needs the car more, and do you want to be his Uber driver? But let's find out more. The catch is that he had under 2 years of driving experience for such a violation. He had to go to some extra classes. Okay, so it's a big headache for him. He was asking me to write the ticket on myself because I have 2+ years of driving experience, so it wouldn't be the ordeal that it's going to be for him. First off, though, did they just install the camera? Is it a new cam? Did he not? How does he not know? Was he driving someplace that he'd never been? I don't know. I know where all the speed cameras are if I've been there before. Hopefully not because I got a ticket, but I live in the LA metro area, and they're going to be installing around me like so many speed cameras. But I don't really speed, so I'm not too worried. On my motorcycle, I do a little. Anyway, I, however, refuse because I hate when people speed. That's such a bad reason. You hate when people speak. I hate when people smack their lips. I hate when people Slurp. I don't know why I'm doing like food stuff. I hate when people don't genuflect and bow. I hate when people. Okay, here you go. I hate when people. This is not people. This is your husband, right? Right? My husband. It's not people. It's your husband. Your husband should be at least a couple levels above people, or you shouldn't have married him and call him your husband. People are random strangers. So you can hate people when people speed. Hey, well, you don't know who they are. They're just random people. But I feel like your husband should qualify at a higher level than just generic people. That's my first problem with this. Also, remember, only a Sith deals in absolutes. There you go. Hey, good to see you. Yeah, come please. Usually sit playing games until bedtime. Yeah, I'm glad. Please and thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Rain a cousin. I think I'm not great at the names, at reading names, at reading in general. All right, so here we go. So she doesn't want to do it because she hates people who speed. I mean, if you want to just do basic Venn diagrams or Venn circles or whatever you want to call them, that means you hate your husband. So you hate your husband. That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying. Okay. I'm leaning. Again, my fiance told me I'm not supposed to try to be nicer to people, but you are a piece of work so far. Let's see. We'll keep going. We'll keep going. All right. I, however, refuse because I hate when people speed. So your husband is now in the category of people. I didn't want such a violation on my record, and I didn't want to make a habit of it. What do you mean a habit of it? Have you done it before? Is it, you can't make it a habit unless you've done it multiple times. One time is not a habit. One time is one time. If you do it 2 times, now you've made it a habit. Here's what you do. He's your husband, by the way, not people. You say, hey, listen, husband, love of my life, maybe, if you actually love him. A man who I would do anything for except, take a ticket. I really want you to know, if you do this again, it's on you. I'm not doing it. And then, then the cards are dealt. Everybody knows what's going on. Then it would be a habit. Then I think you're well within your rights to do it. Here, I have an example with this where I was not an asshole. I was a stand-up guy. You are a sit-down. I don't know, you're just being a jerk. I don't know if you're an asshole so much as you're a jerk. Anyway, I'm not even speeding. I'm teaching my girlfriend how to drive. This is a long time ago. Okay, this is not like I'm 30 and I'm teaching my girlfriend to drive. No, I was, what was I? I guess I was 17 and she was 16, or I was 18 and she was 17, something like that. So I'm teaching her to drive. We're on a beach road where there's no real stop signs. I have a Pontiac Fiero, and I love that car, by the way. It's a manual transmission. So I'm teaching her how to drive. She's actually doing reasonably well, a little too well. So she's driving. I don't think she's even driving that fast, really. But maybe she's doing it's a beach road. So maybe she's doing 40, 45 and a 25, something like that. And we get pulled over by the cops. So the cop comes over, he goes, license and registration. And I'm like, I'm teaching her how to drive. She doesn't have a license. And the cop's just like this is going to be really bad if I have to take her in for not having a license. So he actually did us both a solid. He's like, look, I can say that you were driving and give you the ticket. And I was like, all right, let's do that. So I took the ticket like someone who actually, this is not even my wife. This is my girlfriend. Okay. This is my girlfriend in high school. But that's just helping a friend out. You can't even do the same for your husband. What's wrong with you? Anyway, so I then get in the driver's seat. It really didn't matter at that point anyway. But then I get the ticket. It was like, I don't know, $150, which is a lot for me. It was like 17 or something. And so then, just a side note to this story. A month or so later, I'm ready to break up with her. I've just had it with her. I'm like, oh man, and I got that ticket for her. And I'm like, hey, you got that ticket. Can you pay? This is where I'm the asshole, I guess, technically. I go, well, she cheated on me, so I don't feel that bad. But I'm like, hey, I think it's high school. She goes, hey, I go, hey, can you pay me for that ticket? Because it's on my record. My insurance is going up, blah, blah, blah. Can you at least pay for the ticket? Just give me the money for the ticket. She's like, okay. So she gives me the money. I'm like, okay, good. I'm in the clear. And then a week later, I broke up with her. But again, she had it coming. She cheated on me. How dare she? How dare she? Who's laughing now? I don't know. Maybe she is. I don't know. Young love. Anyway. Here we go. So here you go. So you wouldn't do that I did for some dirty stay out. You wouldn't do it for your own friggin' husband, you awful woman. I know it's supposed to be nicer. Anyway, I didn't want a violation on my record. I didn't want anything on my permanent record. Boy, I hope you never need anyone to stand up for you. Eventually, he failed to show up to those classes, was given a year, and now has to retake his driving exam. It's on him for not showing up to the classes. Okay. He sounds like he's not very responsible in general. That's what I'm getting. But also you. Maybe I think the deeper issue here is you want to break up with this guy. If it makes you feel better, he's probably cheated on you. He was probably speeding to get to his girlfriend. But you don't like this guy. Why don't you just break it up? Break up with him. He's clearly not a very responsible person. He doesn't even go to his driver's exams, and that's the real reason I think you didn't want to take ownership of his ticket. Is because you don't really, even though he's your husband, you don't really feel like there's a lot of love there. There's a lot going on here that you're not talking about. That makes a lot more sense than if you're in a good relationship. If you're in a good relationship, you're gonna take the ticket. And he seems like he's not very responsible at a minimum. Anyway, eventually failed to show up for these classes. Within a given year, he has to retake his driving exam, both theory and practice. He's very angry at me for multiple days now, saying it's my fault. I stand my ground because I didn't know he would fail to go to the classes and lose his license. Yeah, it's his fault. It's a two-parter. You were a douche for not taking the ticket, but again, extenuating circumstances, like you guys are having a really rough patch, which it sounds like you don't really like him, you don't really trust him, which it also sounds like, then it makes sense. Him blaming you is completely in the wrong. He's a grown-ass man. What are you going to go take his test for him? Come on, stop it. Stop it. Just stop it. Anyway, so that's my opinion on that one. There you go. For what it's worth. That was another thing that used to happen in my school. I think it happened at a lot of schools where, like, I remember I had this friend. I can't say his name. I don't think it really matters. But my buddy Sean, won't use his last name. He wasn't good at math. I wasn't good at math. But what he would do is he would pay this like an Asian kid to just go take his math exams for him, and he'd get like an A. And I just never had the balls to do it, because it's an Asian. It doesn't look like him, but in a big room of people, he just he gets the paper, he puts in the name. This is back in the 90s, 90. It's been 80s. It's been like 89, 90. And I'm giving way too much information about this guy. And anyway, so he would just have this Asian kid come in and take the test for him, and the kid would just drop it. And there's just so many people in this examination hall, and no one's really paying any attention. And I'm like, I would never do it because I'd be scared I'd be caught and expelled. Blah, blah, blah. So instead, I almost failed out because I was so bad at math. And but yeah, he would just friggin' pull A's, and he did it all the time. And I'm just like, I feel like some people have like this thing where they can get away with it. Whereas someone like me, I just know the first time I did it, I would be caught. I'd be brought into the dean's office. I'd be expelled and just all that shit. I just feel like I'm not. What's that? You're not that guy. You're not that guy. You're not that guy. I'm not that guy who can get away with all that stuff. I'd like to be. I don't know if I'd like to be, but why not? If I can, why not? Why not? Nobody gets hurt, right? Maybe. Yeah. Maybe not. All right, let's keep rocking and rolling. Yeah, so that's a two-part. That relationship is not long for this world, I would say. Not long for this world, your relationship, madame. Good luck to you. But yeah, on the second part, your husband was the asshole. You got to take his test for him. And again, why was he speeding? Where was he speeding? How come he didn't know the camera? Was he visiting? Was he having that clandestine affair? Next week, we'll have that when they do the update. Am I the asshole for not allowing my niece to serve herself during a family dinner? Yeah, how are kids going to grow? I mean, unless she's like a toddler. Then, yeah, you don't want, then yeah, okay. But like, how do kids grow unless you give them a little bit of responsibility? You can let her serve it, but like kind of like put bumpers on it, like in a bowling alley. Like, okay, here's a duller knife. Let me cut this for you, and you can use your fork. And while you're not cutting, you can at least fork it up and get the feel of building some sort of a independence. And I think it's a good thing. But apparently, let's find out a little more. Oh, this is a long one. I tried to post this a while back and then was going to let it go as the frustration died down a bit. All right. Well, obviously, you're a family guy manager, then, huh? We had a family dinner, told you, Saturday, and the issue came back up again. So it's going to haunt you forever. Background: brother-in-law has a 15-year-old. 15. You can't let a 15-year-old serve herself? Come on. What is she serving herself? Wine? Daughter B. And again, ooh, this annoys me too. When people call her Bella, just don't use initials. Just go to the effort of creating a pretend name. It won't kill you. Brandy, Beth, Becky, Becca, whatever. Just B. Ugh, I already hate your thing because of that. Anyway, from the outside of their marriage, never. Wait, okay, back. He has a 15-year-old daughter from outside their marriage. All right, what the hell does that have to do with anything? Never once denied her. She's his firstborn. Again, what the hell does that have to do with anything? Maybe you'll let us know. B's been in our lives since she was a baby. Great. Love them. Also, no biases. I say B's spoiled. So Beth, I'm gonna say Beth. I really have a hard time reading these when they do this with the names. She has a few. Okay, so she wastes food. So hey, Mark, good to see you, brother. Thank you for tuning in, man. So it's if she's wasting food, okay, then you don't stop her from serving herself. You just you call it off. You're like, okay, you can take less and then you can come back and get seconds. But you don't have to stop her completely. I mean, there's a reason your family's coming down on you. It's not because you handled it well. It's not because you handled it great. They're like, oh yeah, great job, buddy. You jackass. Anyway, let me do I think I'm going to enjoy this one because I got a story, and as a grown ass adult, my story's from 2 years ago when I overserved myself, and I'll tell you all about that. My prometida, aka my esposa, she did not care for that. Esposa in waiting. All right, let me do this one because I do love me some Rumble. Rumble is the friggin' bomb, man. We hear a lot about crypto. But here's the part most people miss. Crypto was created so you could actually own and control your money. After the 2008 financial crisis, Bitcoin was designed as an alternative to banks. So instead of a bank holding your money, delaying transfers, or limiting access, you're in control. And if you ever have had to wait for a transfer to clear, you felt that problem. Now, fast forward to today, everybody's heard of crypto, but getting started still feels complicated. That's exactly why I use Rumble Wallet. It takes all that complexity and makes it simple. Choose what you want: Bitcoin, dollar-backed stablecoins, or even digital gold backed by real gold. No complicated setup. It connects with MoonPay, so you can use your credit card, debit card, or bank and be up and running in minutes. Once you're set up, you can even support your favorite creators on Rumble, like me, directly. A little gas. So do this now. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description and download Rumble Wallet. From there, you can set up your wallet, tap buy, and you're in the game. In just a few minutes, you can go from hearing about crypto to actually owning some. So hop on that right now. It's right there. Check it out, Rumble Wallet. You'll be glad you did. All right, let's get back to it, shall we? We shall. We shall. All right. Yeah, so here we go. So I'll read this and then I'll tell you my story, which again happened not as a 15-year-old, but as a 55-year-old or maybe 54, grown ass man, and I'm still a mess. All right. So, anyways, the dinner before. Okay. Let's go back here. I have no issue with her eating as much as she can, but she overloads her plate, then throws what's left in the trash. Okay. So yeah, you got to control her a little bit. If she's just gonna wait, you can't be wait. You can waste a little food. Well, I'll tell you that story in a minute too. But yeah, you can't be throwing out like half a ham. You know what I'm saying? All right. Well, you can, but yeah, then you're gonna get a look. When I brought it up during family dinners, why would you bring it up during family dinners? Why wouldn't you just bring it up in private? I mean, here's your first mistake. You're gonna make people defensive. You're bringing it up with everybody around. You're basically, calling them out on their parenting skills. That was stupid. You go to, you take them to the side. Maybe that's what you're doing when we say at family dinners, not at the table. Take Frank to the side and say, hey, Frank, listen, is your daughter, she just takes all the food and just throws it out. You think you maybe just tell her to take a little less? But yeah, sure. But you do that at the dinner table with everybody around. Suddenly it's like, no, whoa, I'm a bad parent. No, she'll be fine. Even though he knows you're right. He's not going to back. You're not going to embarrass him in front of everybody, even though you know. And look at you now. Everybody hates you. Not everybody. Maybe your wife still likes you. I'm kidding, but am I? Let's read further. Anyway, when I brought this up during family dinners, her parents excused it as her not liking leftovers. That doesn't make any sense, but they'll say anything just to not be, mocked and humiliated in front of a group of their own family. So they're gonna, they'll come up with any old crappy excuse and stick to it and dig in on it. Seriously, just approach people privately first. If you did that and they still did it, then yeah, then you got more issues than that. It was her parents' excuse that is not liking leftovers doesn't make any sense. And at least she cleans her plate, throwing out what's left in the trash and rinsing her plate. Yeah, I mean, the leftovers thing it doesn't work. And then they're like, well, at least she's tidy and throws out all your food. Well, I asked why they don't pack it up as leftovers for themselves. And was told, we'll do that from now on. They didn't. All right, here we go. This is getting good. All right, the dinner before last, I organized everything as I usually do. Well, you should just get her everyone should get like the ham and the stuffing and the gravy, and then you should just hand her like a Lunchables. I'm kidding, but it would be pretty funny. Here's your Lunchables, which you're probably still going to throw half out. Or you know what? Or let her take all her food and then just walk her to the trash and be like, "You want to throw half out now? You can have fun with it." Anyway, or better yet, because she hasn't touched the food yet, let her get all her food. Then it's still clean, no cooties, no germs. And then you scrape half of it into a to-go container and they go, here you go. If you want more, I will give you this piecemeal. But you don't like leftovers, so I'm going to put this in the fridge. We'll eat it for lunch tomorrow. Anywho, I organized everything. And when we sat down for dinner, I handed my niece a plate, Lunchables. Hey, good for you. She said, oh, and took the plate. I told her she can always get seconds when she's finished. I just don't like how you did it. I just think you should let her do it, but you need to kind of lord over her and be like, just don't take so much. You don't just talk to her because her parents clearly don't. So like you take a lot and then you throw it out. It's wasteful and talk about waste, and food is expensive and you don't want to get up into the bad habit of throwing away perfectly good food. So just take what you need and come up for seconds. Have the discussion with her that her parents refuse to have, but just handing her a plate, it's kind of a dick move. But I get where it's coming from. All right. A day later, I got a text from my sister saying I humiliated my niece because she was the only teenager who was not allowed to make her own plate, and I treated her like she was greedy. Yeah, I mean, it's a poor move, man. It is. I don't mind her taking as much as she can eat. In fact, at one point, the family was worried she had an eating disorder and was loading her plate to mask how much she was actually eating. That's possible. But it wasn't that. She eats, but now she's also not overeating. She just overloads her plates and wastes what's left. Okay. She even did the same thing with the cake. Okay, now there I have a problem. How dare you? How dare no. It's the same thing. You just go with her, or that's one where you can actually do it. Like for cake, it's easy. That's like something you should do as a host anyway, really. You get a cake, you cut it in the slices. Who would like cake? You. And then you plate it, and then you hand them out. That's what I would do. That's how cakes aren't that big. You want to make sure they last. So there you go. But yeah, it's the way you handle it. It's not what you did, it's how you did it. Your instincts were good. Well, no, they weren't. Your goal was good, but your instincts on how to achieve it were piss poor. Which I didn't serve her. Okay. She took 2 slices to start, ate 1 slice, scraped the frosting off the other slice, and threw the remaining cake in the trash. No, do you have a dog or something? Like some of this. Not wasting food is something that was greatly instilled in us as kids, so my reaction is just instinctual. Yeah, you need to be the parent here. Her parents are doing a shitty job. You need to be the parent. Would you do this to your child? What would you do to your child? You'd have a talk with them. Have a talk with them or her. And then just tell her, just whatever you're going to take half of what you think you need. And then after that, if you need more, you can go up and have seconds and have that talk with her. Again, the parents aren't going to. And then everybody wins, and the parents don't like you already anyway. So who gives a shit about them? Anyway, that is pretty crazy. This last dinner, I said nothing, but my brother-in-law kept making passive-aggressive comments anytime any of their kids went to the kitchen to get something, even drinks, like you didn't ask uncle first. Well, again, that's going to happen. That's bound to happen because of what happened. He's kind of a douche. But what are you going to do? because they're mad that you're doing a little bit of parenting for them, not in a great way, but you're trying. I didn't want to talk to him and start something, so I asked my sister, and she said, "Well, this is what you wanted, right? Well, maybe. Here, let me ask you this: is the food situation fixed? Because if it is, I don't know what you're complaining about. Put up with the passive aggressive. Which do you hate more? Her throwing a gallon of food in the trash in front of you and you losing your shit, or the passive aggressive behavior of your brother-in-law? My guess is you hate the food wasting more than that. So yeah, you win. You won. Let them make their little snide comments, and you get 3 extra days of leftovers. I don't really see the issue. So to be honest, from an outside perspective, was I an asshole in the situation? Not really. You just didn't handle it the right way. But you should listen. In the end, you got what you wanted. Be grateful. Be grateful. Now they're actually doing some parenting. Oh, they're doing it to spite you. The end result is what you're after. So yeah, don't sweat it, bro. Hey, Relax and McGroin. Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in, brother. Thank you. Or sister sometimes. I did, on the McGroin Nation. I'm not 100% sure of everybody's gender. Welcome to America. Am I the asshole for not driving my boyfriend's family to the airport and bringing it up? Why would you bring it up? Why would you bring it up? I believe I'm going to say yes, but we will. Again, I'll go with you. I'll ride with you. See what you see. At least he put a real name. Let's say his name is Eli. Let's. Me, 22 female, and Eli, 18, have been dating for 4 months. A lot of, young couples. Some context. He's very dedicated to his studies. Well, that's good. Hold on a second. Oh, crap. Okay, let me see if I can. Okay. Some context. He's very dedicated to his studies. He got accepted into a very prestigious internship. All right. And was sad that he would be away all summer. But I knew it was best for him, so I planned to see him off to the airport. All right. Well, that seems like a cool thing of you. His family has fragrance allergy. His whole family has a fragrance allergy. Let me guess, is it yours? Well, if he has a fragrance allergy, don't wear the fragrance. You can do that for a day, right? I don't get that. Well, anyway, let's continue. On the days leading up to his send-off, we started discussing logistics. He said that because his mom hates driving, he would love if I could drive everyone to the airport. Okay, so if they have a fragrance issue, it's like having a peanut. Oh, it's not really a peanut allergy, but you know what I'm saying. Rather than making them all, you just don't wear whatever fragrance they don't like. You could do it for a couple hours. We'll see if that is the issue or not. He said because his mom hates driving, he would love if I could drive everyone to the airport. Okay, that's nice. I was initially okay with the plan because I thought they would come to my house and I would hop in the car and drive them. So this is your boyfriend who you're taking to the airport. But then he asked again and said he wanted to use my car, bring it to his place 30 minutes away from mine, have his mom smell it to make sure it was neutral enough, and then drive the entire trip. As much of a pain in the ass as that is and how kind of weird that is, you want to see him off to the airport. You want his family to be, let him smell your car. And here's the thing. If you really don't want to drive for some reason, just, squirt some perfume in there before you leave the house. Anyway, no one offered any gas reimbursement. Come on. What is with the chintziness of these relationships? These relationships are horrible. Nobody does anything for anyone. Let me go back to your front end here. He's dedicated to his studies, got accepted to a prestigious internship. I was sad that he would be away, so you like him, but I knew it was best for him, and I planned to see him off to the airport. Okay, there you go. So I guess, what are you thinking, he's going to leave you or something? At this point, he is, after this behavior. This is ridiculous. Just drive over to the family's house. I drive to my fiance's house every day. I see her family or kids. It's at least 30 minutes. Sometimes it's an hour, depending on traffic. My gas. Fucking relax. You're sending off this guy. I'm telling you right now, you guys are done. The way you're treating his family, please. Anyway, we'll keep going. No one offered gas reimbursement. You can't. That can't be your contribution to, to the cost. Who paid for the kid's plane ticket? The family probably, right? They must be covering some expense. Who feeds this kid? The family, right? Your boyfriend. Anyway, no one offered me any gas reimbursement, and I expressed my feelings to him on the day of the send off. I can see how it was a dick move. Yeah, on the day of the send off. Where's my gas money? What the hell? You're like, hey, as soon as you get there, start looking for a new girlfriend. That's basically what you just said to him with this. I'm just telling you. He's going there like, oh my God. I was not sure if I wanted to stay with her. Now I know I don't. And I don't know if that's subconsciously what you were going for, but I think it's what you essentially achieved with your behavior here. Maybe you're not an asshole. Maybe you just want subconsciously, more consciously out of this relationship. Anyway, I wasn't trying to ruin his big day. You did. But I felt like there was never going to be a good time to say something over the gas. I felt like I wasn't wanted there unless I was contributing financially. No. What do you mean contributing financially? You driving them to the airport is contributing financially? Ay. If I said it during his internship, it'd still be the asshole. If I waited the whole summer to say something, I would still. You're a moron on this one. You're being ridiculous. Just pay for your big gripe here is that you had to pay for the. I don't think that's your big gripe, by the way. That's not your big gripe. Your big gripe has nothing to do with the gas or the cost of fuel, and everybody knows it, including you. Your big gripe here is that you had to deliver the car to be smelled, and that pisses you off. Their scent aversion thing pisses you off. I had my fiance had a doctor. I don't know how she kept this doctor as long as she did. This friggin' doctor is like, maybe she's involved in this family. Maybe she's the mom, but she was a doctor and she had like a perfume allergy or just she hated perfume. So every time that my fiance went to see her, she couldn't wear any perfume. She had to have like a completely neutral smell, or this doctor would wig out. I'm like, why would you go to this fucking psycho? So I feel like that's the way you feel about this mom and this family. I could be wrong. I don't think I am. Anyway, so yeah, but I can't help wonder if his mom hates driving, why couldn't he drive her? Well, who's gonna bring her back? What about the older brother, her husband? Did you ever think that maybe he wants to see you off? I'm really confused as to why the responsibility fell on me. You don't want to be a part of it. You don't want to say goodbye to him. You just want to sit in the back seat. She's not comfortable driving. Maybe the brother's a crappy driver. Maybe he doesn't even have his license. I don't know. This guy's done. You guys are done. I'm telling you that right now. Now he hates me, told you, and says I'm being controlling and I've totally ruined everything. You haven't ruined everything at all. You just fucked up his plans to go leave you. I told you, this guy, he's done with you. As soon as any girl gives him the most remote inkling of interest, he is in bed with them and in a new relationship. Now, here, I don't know if this is going to make you feel any better. If by some, I won't say miracle because it's not a miracle, but if by some chance the guy breaks up with the girl and then he winds up home, he may sleep with you another couple times. But as soon as he goes back to wherever he's doing his internship, he's trying to shag up with somebody else again. I don't blame him. You're difficult. And I feel like you resent that he's leaving for this internship, even though it's prestigious and even though you're saying that it matters to you. I think you resent all of it. You resent him doing this and going and bettering himself because in the end you feel like he's going to leave you, and so you just subconsciously contributed to that by giving him an amazing reason to leave you, alienating his family in the process. I mean, you bravo for someone who wanted to screw up a relationship. You knocked it out of the park. That's a friggin' grand slam. Everybody in the whole damn family. Right. Okay. T Highs has some stuff. And yeah, please put them in the comments. I love to help everybody. We'll discuss. Am I the asshole if I don't want to see my in-laws? I don't think so. Just from the first sentence. I'll read more, but just because if you don't want to see the in-law, you can't pick your family. You can only pick your friends. And there's a lot of people who, very few families, everybody gets along. Very few. You know what I mean? It's kind of unusual for everyone to get along really these days, especially if you bring politics into the mix. I don't want to see my in-laws. Okay. A year after my husband died, to clarify, my mother-in-law has always treated me terribly. Yeah, you're not in the wrong. If she treats you poorly, why subject yourself to that? I don't blame you a bit. as wishing for my death in childbirth wasn't her worst. Oh, she's a bit. She sounds like an absolute monster. No, you're not the. I can tell you, you're not the asshole right now from the first paragraph. We had two daughters. I had a son from a previous relationship. We eloped. His mom never forgave us for eloping. I feel like um uh hold on, I'm not sure. So your husband, I feel like your husband probably knew your mom. I mean, his mom was a nightmare. I feel like he knew. And so he's probably like, listen, I don't want to deal with her. I don't want her to scare you off. I don't want her to sabotage the wedding. Let's just elope. That's what's going through my head. He knows what he's dealing with this woman, or knew what he was dealing with that woman. She's his mom, yeah, but he knows, he knows what's coming. So you eloped. His mom never forgave us. Eventually caused us to separate, but never divorced. Remain good friends and only want the best for the kids. So all of that. So the mom just worked him until he, I guess, she broke him. Well, I'm glad you stayed friends, if for no other reason than the sake of the kids. My ex and we've been divorced for, getting on 2 years now. Wow, a year and a half. And we've been separated for 4 or 5, probably 4. But yeah, that's one thing we do. We still fight here and there, but we put my son first 95% of the time, and the rest of the time we fight like cats and dogs. So your daughters are now 17 and 18, a year after he passed suddenly from a heart attack. Yeah, that is a shame. Mother-in-law guilt trips as often as possible, getting me to help her financially for the first 6 months after my husband passed. Ay, ay, ay. You're not the asshole at all. You are not the asshole at all. I wouldn't go see him either. Why would you put yourself in that situation? She's just terrible to you. Just terrible. Send her a card. They don't have to be rude about it. Just make up some excuse. So sorry, I'm busy. So sorry, I'm sick. Send a card, send a cake, send, I don't know, send a case of beer. I don't know. But you are not in any way, shape, or form the asshole. You are protecting yourself from a malevolent mob, or of one or perhaps two. I don't know what the rest of them are like. So no, you're doing the right thing. Good for you. And also, I would explain it to your daughters. I think you said daughters, 17 and 18. What's going on, because I guarantee she will put hemlock in their ears about you, as she did to your husband, about you as well. So let them know what game is being played by your mother-in-law, and that to take anything she says with a huge grain of salt, with like a whole huge grain of salt. Yeah, usually they are the ones who are the worst. T heights are usually absolute narcissists. They're completely guilt free. All of their horrible actions and nonsense that they commit is completely justifiable somehow in their own mind. So yeah, that's not very surprising. She's an absolute very bipolar. She insisted I'm turning the kids against her. You know what? And as nice a way as I can say this, you just be honest with those kids. They'll make up their own mind. It will almost guaranteed be towards your side. But make sure you just give them the truth. Always give them the truth. Always give them the truth. Always give them the truth. The truth will set you free, and the truth will keep them from letting your mother-in-law poison them against you. And they at this point, I'm assuming, already can see her for what she is. They're 17 and 18. They're pretty mature at this point. They know what they're dealing with. Yeah. So she tries. Yeah, that's it. Honesty and son. Okay, good. Yeah, just honesty does it. That's what I do with my boy. I don't lie to him about his mom. I never lie to him about his mom, because we're doing better, me and his mom, now, because we don't have the house together anymore. We're divorced. We split some bills, but we're pretty civil. But during the divorce, she cost both of us so much money with its unnecessary, just lawyer bills and this, and she wants that and this, and she wound up costing herself, tens of thousands of dollars that she didn't need to, and me too, for that matter. She got a worse deal than if she just accepted the very 50-50 divorce agreement that I handed her day one. And then, 3 years later, we're still going to court and this and that. But that's all behind me. But during those times, I would tell my son, like, this is what's going on. This is why I'm angry at your mother. And I would say, if you want, you can look at the emails. I just want you to know the truth. That because I wasn't worried about what I was doing, because I felt when you just have the truth on your side, that's all you need. And I feel like that's right. So I'm always very direct when it comes to him, because I feel that honesty is the best policy. And in the end, you benefit from it. So yeah, you are not the asshole in any way, shape, or form. Good for you for putting up with what is a very difficult situation with that woman. And no, you should not go see her, or, don't feel any guilt. Have a night. You know what? Instead of going there, go to a spa, or just do something nice for yourself. Watch a movie, go see a movie, maybe take your daughter somewhere. I don't know. Just, have a nice day. Don't check any of your emails. Don't check Facebook. Just enjoy yourself. Go to the beach, go for a walk in nature, clear your head. Take what would be a awful experience at their place and turn it into just a wonderful one for you. How about that? Right? Yes. Oh no, my pleasure. Thank you. You keep fighting the good fight. Am I the asshole for telling my brother-in-law his new girlfriend is way too young for him? No, I mean, you're his brother. No, I don't think so. He's probably not going to listen to you, but a good brother. Another story. I don't know if I should tell this one. Yeah, I'll tell it. So my buddy, yeah, I'll use real names. Why the hell not? Yeah, I'll just do it. My buddy Ethan, he was dating this girl. She was Asian and didn't speak like barely any English. I never met her, but he would just tell me about her. He was just hooking up with her, and he was happy. She was happy, but he would joke about how she could barely speak English. I'm like, well, good for you. You must be pretty good if you're able to cross that language barrier. And I didn't think much of it. And then, like, I don't know, 6 months later, maybe not that soon, but maybe a year or something. No, it was probably after that. It was a while down the road, because he lives in Connecticut. I live in California. So it might have been even years. But that's the last I knew of his romantic situation. So let's call it a couple of years or something. I don't know. So all of a sudden he calls me. He's like, "Hey, I want you to stand in my wedding." And my first thing I said to him was like, "It's not that Asian chick, is it?" And he just busts out laughing, because I'm just like, "Oh, thank God, bro," because I'm like, I'm like, "You're gonna marry this." It's from the way he was describing her, talking about her. I'm just like, I hope that's not her, and it wasn't. He'd met another girl after, and she's great. She's really great, and I got to meet her, and I got really drunk, which I always did. And yeah, she's awesome. But I was just like, dude, but that's what you do for a friend. You're like, come on, bro. The age, maybe she's really hot. She's really good in bed. I don't know. But it just sounds like this should not be a marriage. This should be a hookup. But luckily it wasn't her. But I was honest with him. So I don't think you're necessarily in the wrong for giving an honest opinion on a situation, as long as it's done with good intent. And it's not like because you like her, or you're jealous or something. That's different. All right. Let's click on this here. Okay, so my brother is 32. He's been dating this girl for 3 months. It kind of sounds like my buddy. He's 32. She's 19. I'm 28. I know 32 and 19 is a big age gap. Yeah, it is. But wait, are they getting married, or are they just? Oh, it's his girlfriend. Okay, he's probably just having fun, dude. It's a big age gap, but it's more than that. She seems like a really sweet kid. Okay, here it is. You think she's really sweet, and you like her. I think you like her. She's really more suited to you. I have a feeling that's what you think, anyway. And so you're protecting her from your brother, who you know really well, and he's just going to dump her or whatever. I feel like you're trying to protect this girl from him, but it's out of jealousy. So I feel like this is coming from a place of jealousy, because it sounds like you like her just from that first sentence I read. She seems like a really sweet kid, and I don't think she's a bad person or anything, but she has zero life experience. Well, how do you get life experience? You live life. Oh, and here's the thing. I'm not like saying like these big age gaps are great, but who's the next guy she's going to be with? Okay, so you talk your brother, or God help, you're probably going to her going, you should break up with him. And so he leaves the scene, and then she starts dating this tattooed meth addict, and so like you don't know what's going to replace your brother, right? So don't be so sure you're doing her a solid. I'm not, I don't know. I'm keeping a healthy distance from this relationship. There are, relationships that work. I don't think this one's going to last. Based on her being 19, she's going to find someone else. But let it run its course, dude. Anyways, she's never lived alone. She's never had a serious job. My brother, on the other hand, is really settled. He has a great career, owns his own home. Yeah, so he's probably very attractive to her from a stability standpoint. She has some father issues. Maybe she likes his maturity, and is talking about marriage and kids like it's already a given. He sounds like he really likes her. I mean, he's not talking about going to the strip clubs on the weekends and this and that. He sounds like he's very much, in love with her. That's what it sounds like, right? I brought it up to him because I was worried about him. And it's fine to bring it up again if it's a place of concern and not a place of jealousy. And I'm not sure that that's where we're at with this. I brought it up to him because I was worried about him. I was also worried about her. I told him I thought she was way too young and inexperienced to be thinking about marriage and kids with him, and that he was going to end up hurting her or vice versa. That's a relationship, man. 50% of divorces end, or 50% of divorces end in marriage. 50% of marriages end in divorce. And most of those are at or near the same age, right? Most people who get married are pretty close in age. Yet 50% of them, wind up divorced. So it's a quarter flip no matter what the age difference is, right? I don't know. Anyway, was going to end up hurting him. He got really defensive and told me it was none of my business and that I was being judgmental. Okay, you gave him your opinion. He gave you his. He said he's happy and that's all that matters. Now he's barely talking to me. Yeah, well, I get that. I honestly thought I was looking out for both of them, but maybe I overstepped. You did overstep. You didn't. If you had said my brother is you said he's got a good job, he's got a house, a family, he's got his shit together. If you had said he smokes all this weed and he's a big drunk and he gambles and he's a womanizer, okay, yeah, then it's like, okay, you don't do this to this poor girl. But he seems to really love her and really like her, and I feel like this, I think you like her. And so, she's a little close. I bet if she hit on you, you'd be like, well, it's okay. I'm 28. So, that's my feeling. So I just think you need to analyze where your well-intentioned advice came from. Because I don't think it came from, I think it came from jealousy. I think you like this chick. That's my opinion of it anyway. I could be wrong. I'm not always right. I'm not 100%. Sometimes I'm not even 50. But yeah, seriously, there you go. Sorry. Oh yeah. All right, I want to keep reading this. I don't want to miss anything. You had him for 19 years. He was the best of. Oh, that's great. That is great. I'm so happy for your daughters. I mean, that's so hard when you're a father or mother or anyone dies and with a kid, and they are kids still, 17, 18. But at least they had that time with him. I know for my dad, his dad died. I've been very blessed. My dad's still alive. But my father's father died, I think, when he was 13 or 12. And and then him and his brother and sister, and my grandmother, who I got a picture of right there, love her, Grandma Janet, took care of him, on a teacher's salary. She was built different, built tough. She was that Depression era woman. They didn't trust the banks. This is a true story. When my grandmother died, God rest her soul, she instead of going to the bank, had all her money in the stairs. So like each rung of the stair, each step, you could pry off, and there was just money. And under the mattress, I mean, she had money everywhere but a bank, And it kind of made sense to me. It explained something to me once because it was weird. I was in the basement and I was there for a while. I don't know what I was doing. I was watching TV or just doing something down there. Because I lived with her for a very brief period when I first moved to Chicago when I was like very young. And It was great. It was really some great times with her. But I remember I came upstairs and I'm just walking. I'm just going to say hi. I don't know, get a sandwich, something, and she just screams at the top, like, "Go downstairs, go downstairs!" And I came around, I could see her on the stairs. She was sitting on the stairs, and she's looking at, "Go downstairs right now, go!" Like I did, like I'm like, all right, all right, all right. You know, last thing I want to do is upset grandma. It made no sense. So I went downstairs again. I'm like, what the fuck was that about? And then I went upstairs, no explanation of the meltdown. I'm a white guy, so we don't talk about anything. So we just all right. We'll just pretend that never happened. And yeah, but then it made sense. She must have been putting money in or taking money out of the stairs. But apparently these stairs were just friggin', paved with gold. But yeah, she was if you're a depression era baby, depression era person, the banks ran dry, man. You're not going to go stick your money in a bank. You're going to keep it in the stairs. You're going to keep it in the mattress. You're going to go bury it outside. It's not the best investment vehicle, but it's secure, unless of course there's a fire. Then it's not as secure. Anyway, there you go. All right, let me get out of it. Yeah, I don't. I think your brother. Maybe they'll again. 50% of marriages end in divorce, and I don't think the ratio is really any higher. Let's AI this real quick. Does a bigger age gap? Let me see a bigger? Because I'm curious. I don't think it's going to be that big a difference. Does a bigger age gap mean divorce is more likely? All right, let's see what the AI bots have to say. Oh, it does. Apparently it does. But still, let him have his fucking fun. Let him decide, not you. What is he like? I wonder who talked to I was gonna say Bill Parcells, but that's not right. Bill Belichick and that chick. And even them, Belichick knows what's going on. What is he, 80? She's like 21 or something. I don't know what the age. There's a big ass age difference. But I mean, he knows what he's getting. He's getting a young nubile minx, and she's getting a meal ticket. And it's more of a business arrangement for those two than a love relationship. At least with your brother, it sounds like he's in love with the chick. Yes, studies indicate a direct correlation as the age gap between partners increases, the likelihood of divorce also rises. All right. Well, what are the exact numbers? AI. All right. So this is what it is: a 1 year difference. 3% more likely to divorce. I'm not buying this. 1 year difference? Well, you have to be the same age. So if you're the exact same age, you stay together longer than if there's a 1 year age difference. Okay, 5 years, they said it's 18%, 10 years, 39%. 20 years, 95% more likely to divorce. Well, I feel like what happens when it's that big an age gap, and I feel like at the younger end side of it, I think it's more likely to last than at the older side, because at the older side of it, the person gets decrepit, or they're going to die soon, and then there's fights for the will. It's more of like a gold digger situation. So I don't know, but yeah, I still say let your brother take a swing at the bat, man. Let him take a swing. There you go. That's my opinion. Yeah, look, here's something that contradicts it. 5 year age gap results in an 18% higher divorce. Okay. But even a 1 year, I don't know, man. It's all 50% divorce rate. If it's 95% higher for a 20-year age gap, what what is that? It's like, oh yeah, that's pretty high. You know what? I should never do math. I should never have even gotten on that train, because math is not my forte by any stretch of the imagination. All right, let's get back to am I the asshole here? All right. Am I the asshole for expecting my 31-year-old husband, for expecting my 31 husband, 33, to change his gym schedule? So someone's 31, 32. Oh no, you're gonna get divorced. A 2-year age difference. To change his gym schedule after developing an infatuation with a woman he sees multiple times a week at his regular gym time. No, this is not good. He should have an infatuation with you. What the hell, man? That's just crazy. That's just nuts. Is it 10 o'clock already? Man, this show's flown. I'm clicking on this. Damn straight, I'm clicking on this. Anyway, my husband came to me a couple of weeks ago and disclosed that he told you that's something. That's good. That's a good sign. Um, all right. My husband came to me a couple of weeks ago and disclosed he developed a crush on a woman at the gym over the last year, with it having ramped up in the last few months. Define ramped up. Like, what the hell? Your husband. I thought he was just going to be like, oh, I got a crush on this girl I just saw a couple weeks ago. I just got a crush on her. But he's like, for a year, it sounds like it sounds like he's been actively pursuing her, and she's starting to nibble. And now he's a little nervous. He's like, oh, crap. Now what do I do? Maybe I can get my wife to scare her off. This is not good. This is not good. My husband came to me a couple of weeks ago. Disclosed he developed a crush on a woman at the gym over the last year, with it having ramped up the last few months. By crush, he says he has only asked for her name. Okay, well, it's a little better. Jeez, man, horn dog. And there's been no further contact, but he feels extremely sexually attracted to her. Yeah, it's good that he's telling you this. It is as bad as it is to hear. But yeah, he needs to not be going when she's going. He needs to go to a different gym, since he apparently has no control over his libido. And the only thing stopping him, I would guess, from having an affair with this woman is that she has no interest in having an affair with him. That's the only thing I think that's working in your favor right now. Oh, yeah, the plot thickens. Okay. That was going to be my next thing. Maybe he's trying to push you into an open relationship. If he's trying to push you into that, or polyamory, just divorce him now. Unless you want to do that. But I honestly don't think you do. I would just divorce him now. He's going to be nothing but trouble. He's probably been cheating on you for a while, if not with this woman, with others. But let's keep going. Yeah, he's like, why not? Let's throw a Hail Mary here. Maybe I can get her in on it. He really honed in. Okay. So here's what he said. By crush, he says he's only asked her name and there's been no further contact. He feels extreme sexual attraction to her. He really, really, really honed in on this point. So yeah, so he's trying to get you to do like a 3-way with this chick. So he brought this to my attention to ask permission to flirt with her and potentially pursue her sexually. We are not poly, nor do we have an open relationship. You need to run. You need to get away from this guy. You need to go. He is not interested in what you have to sell. He's not interested in a traditional marriage, unless it doesn't sound like you want to get involved with this. So don't try and save the marriage by blowing up the marriage. You know what I mean? Just be done. Get away from this fucking guy. Get someone who loves you for you. Again, now, if you're consenting adults and you're like, oh yeah, I've always wanted to try polyamory. I've always wanted an open relationship. That's a whole different thing. If you're both into it, then that's a whole different thing. But if it's just one person's like, yeah, and you're like, no, I don't want anything to do with that, and they're basically dragging you along, kicking and screaming. I mean, God, it's not going to work. But we'll continue. He apparently, okay. Is he gay too? Is it polycurious? Does that mean, like, I can't keep up with all? Is he also gay? Is he bisexual? I don't know. Let's see. He really, really honed in on this point. We are not poly, nor do we have an open relationship. He is apparently polycurious, but this is news to me after 10 years together. I understand attraction happens. He's not, this has nothing, this is him wanting you to get in on it. And I'm not blaming him for the initial attraction, monkey brain, and all of that. I am, however, blaming him to choose to foster it, not doing anything about it, to distance himself from it. Yeah. And then being unwilling to follow through with what I have asked to facilitate repair of a relationship. I told you already, you need to go. You need to divorce this guy. Anyway, I say no. And I'm asking him to change his gym schedule. So he's just going to try and cheat on her without you. This is what's going to happen. And how do I know? Because he hasn't changed his gym schedule. Because he continues to go to the same gym. He is going to have an affair with this woman if she is in any way, shape, or form willing. Just going to tell you that right now. Changed it so it's not overlap with this woman's normal gym routine, so he can allow time and space for this attraction to fade. He feels I'm being unreasonable by asking this, but it seems like the logical step. It is. I mean, the logical step is to divorce this guy, and a step he should have taken on his own. Exactly, out of respect for me. Exactly. He described the situation as an obsession, then later said it wasn't. You need to lose this guy right away. There's a lot more of the story, but I'm really just trying to figure out if I'm having unrealistic expectations here. No, this guy, you need to dump this guy. He could pretty easily go earlier. Yeah, he wants this girl, and I guarantee I won't guarantee, but I would say the probability is extremely high that he's been cheating on you. If a girl says yes, that's all really sounds like all he needs. I think the only reason he hasn't done it yet is because you haven't agreed to it. And maybe he's already hooked up with this girl and she is into that. And so he's like, well, what if I brought my wife in? He's like, okay, I don't know. All I know is you need to dump this guy. Additional context, we have almost a 2-year-old. That's horrible. And I work earlier than he does, so I can't go to the gym with him if he does go in the morning. Yeah, he's just a dick. I know you have a 2-year-old, but you got to have a little bit of self-respect here. Don't, get custody of this kid. I hope maybe a family there. Don't give it to, fucking Captain Pervo. First one here says he's being pretty selfish. Flip the table. I'd be having a fit. Yeah, I would. I would be divorcing this guy. I just would. Now again, it's different. I'm not saying that's the right answer for every relationship, but if you didn't both sign up for it, if you're not both into it, if you told me like, I've always been curious and I think, it's something I'd like to try, then that's all different. Then yeah, okay, go ahead, have a good time. It's just about both of you being on the same page. And you're not on the same page and he doesn't seem to care. And that's it right there. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about your feelings. He doesn't care that you're not on the same page. He's like, I'm doing it anyway with a couple other chicks and maybe some dudes. Who the hell knows? Poly this, poly that. Hey, Chihuahua. So yeah, there you go, folks. That's my opinion on that. Hey, Salty, good to see you. Salty, because you said you thought you were in a bad situation. Poor girl with the dude at the gym. Yeah, how you doing, Salty? Hopefully you guys are doing better. See, I think Salty did all the right things. We were talking about that a couple weeks ago. And Salty is a guy who wants to, make sure his relationship is working. So he did what you do when that's the situation. But this is a guy who just could give two shits. This guy, whatever name this guy is, or was it her husband? It was her husband. It was. Oh, really? Her mom didn't even want to talk to you. Well, I mean, shit. Met her on Sunday. Went to church. Good. You're doing all the right things, man. Hang in there. She can see that you want to make a positive change. The mom's just being protective mom. My guess is with the mom, you're going to have to do a little more convincing with the mom that you're a changed person. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's understand. See, you get it, Salty. You understand human nature. She's protective of her daughter. You hurt her daughter's feelings. And so the I won't say the real hard work, but you're going to need to win mom back. And the only way you can do that is by just living by your word, and actions speak louder than words. So let your actions speak for you, right, man? But yeah, you're doing all the right stuff, man. You're doing all the right stuff, and you get it. You understand it. You're looking at it in a logical and intelligent way. So good for you, brother. Good for you. All right, let's keep going here. Okay. Yeah, that's just. All right. This is an update. Do I want to read an update? Would I be the ass if I took back the laptop my dad gave me on Christmas that my narcissistic mom took? Well, would I be the ass if I took back the laptop that my dad gave me on Christmas that my narcissistic? No, I don't think so. Your dad gave it to you. It's yours. Your mom essentially, from that description, stole it from you. My dad gave me a Lenovo ThinkPad Gen 2 for Christmas, and my mom stole it. Yeah, Exactly. And transferred over all her Windows accounts and applications. I tolerated it for half a year until I decided it was enough. She breaks all of her other technology. Yeah, you should have never let her have the laptop. But I think, based on the fact that your dad had died, right? Well, wait, did your dad die? I don't know, maybe he didn't. But it was a gift from your dad. Yeah, you should have stood up a little sooner. Now, God knows how many viruses and other nonsense she has on it. But yeah, I don't know, bro. I'm not gonna read that whole one because it's an update. If it was the original, I probably would have read it. Am I the asshole for getting angry at my girlfriend while she's having a panic attack? Yes. Yes, you are. If she's having a panic attack, you can't angry her out of a panic attack. You can't yell her out of a panic attack. You can you can try and coax her out of the panic attack, bring her down from the panic attack. Then you can talk with her about the panic attack, but you can't yell at her mid panic attack and expect that to end any way other than badly. I mean, if she's having a panic, how is you yelling going to do anything but incite more panic into the panic attack? Yeah. All right. So the title really puts me in a bad light. It does. All right, here's the context. Earlier today, a friend of mine was hit by a train. Really? Okay. Um, is this real? It's ready. You never know. I found out about this 3 hours ago. He's on life support, has lost his leg below the knee. How the hell did he get hit by a train? Did he try and kill himself? And the doctors don't know how much of the rest of the leg he will lose. He will make a full mental recovery, or if he will make a mental recovery, or even survive the ventilator he's on. Okay. I texted my girlfriend about this due to the fact I felt like she was a safe person to talk to who would comfort me about it. So you wanted comfort, and what you got was a panic attack from your girlfriend. I mean, it's a lot for anyone to digest. I would just have said to her, "Listen, this is a lot, and I can't. I just need. I think I just need some space to kind of to process this. I mean, it sucks because now you're not even able to process it. Now you have to go handle her. I get it, but getting angry is, I don't know, is the best way to approach it. I just don't think it is. Oh, hold on a second here. What's going on here? And I got to check in this because as I told you, I've got to do an airport run. So that's my fiance keeping track. I texted my girlfriend. Okay, okay. So the conversation ends. I try to distract myself, for a bit. Hold on. Okay, I texted my girlfriend about this due to the fact I felt like she was a safe person to talk to who would be able to comfort me about it. That makes sense. I mean, that's what your loved ones are there for, especially girlfriends. Something goes south, you want a shoulder to lean on. Makes complete sense. The conversation ends, and I try to distract myself for a bit. The last week has been rough with work, so she didn't totally flip out when you had this call. So she was able, hopefully, to console you a little bit. My grandmother dying last Monday, and now this. That's a lot to deal with. About 20 minutes later, she goes on a rant about how she's having a panic attack due to the fact that she just realized that my friend who had the accident's cousin is supposed to be taking my friend who had the accident's cousin, okay, is supposed to be taking her to Lancaster in a week and is scared she won't be able to make it. So her panic attack is that she won't have a ride to Lancaster. I don't think that's a panic attack. That's just selfishness, isn't it? I don't know. About 20 minutes. Okay. I got a little bit mad. Yeah. I mean, it's very selfish of her. That's the first thing I would notice. And asked if she could give less of a shit about the whole situation as a whole. Then I explained that I didn't really want to talk to her tonight after that. I do feel a little bad for getting angry, but I think it was justified. She messaged me a little later saying she doesn't think she can handle her anxiety, and I don't really know what to think. It's just weird anxiety. I mean, you know her better than obviously we do. But that's a weird thing to have anxiety over, like your ride to Lancaster. Like you got a week, right, to get another ride, to rent a car, to have you do it, to have another friend do it. I would call her and just say, listen, I would plan on getting another ride or set her up with another ride. But I don't know. I don't like the callousness that she handled the death wish or the death that happened with. And her primary concern is not about the death of your friend, but rather whether or not it's going to affect her Uber to Lancaster. Yeah, there's a lot of red flags flying on that play. A lot of red flags. You know, I don't know. I don't know. Not excited about it. Yeah. Hey, Raising Cane, good to see you. Thanks so much for allowing me to sit in. Oh, of course. Raising Cane. I mess up everyone's name. Rain Carrison. Apologies. Hold on. Let me go back here, as I'm missing all the good comments here. Yeah. So Salty says, talk with my wife every day, see her a couple times a week. Good. This is all great. Pretty sure I have to move houses. Can't have the next door neighbor next to me. Yeah. Haven't talked to the next door neighbor in weeks. Yeah, that's all. You're making all the right decisions, man. Yeah, you can't have that next door neighbor next to you anymore. That will tank your relationship very fast. Uh, Rain Carrison says, thanks so much for allowing me to sit in. It's been so relaxed for me to hear voices. Have a beautiful time. Oh, okay. Everyone, communication is key to success. Exactly. Yeah, communication is key. 100%. God bless you. You got that. Lancaster CA is a dumb. Yeah, pure blood. I didn't want to. Well, I mean, I didn't bring it up, but yeah, Lancaster is a shithole. Really, I used to work there here and there. Like when I was a trainer, I'd go to Lancaster. It's like a big meth place, with a lot of meth in Lancaster. It's a dump. It is. It's just a dump. And yeah, like the fact that she has to go to Lancaster. Is she picking up meth? Is that what the anxiety is? Will I be able to get all my meth? That's what Lancaster's known for, isn't it? I mean, what else is Lancaster known for? Lancaster, Palmdale. I'm like, what are the two dumps out there? Oh, this is my main memory from Lancaster. I was working for Ford or maybe Kia, I don't remember, but I was working as a sales trainer and I had to go into Lancaster. Like I knew if I called in sick, my boss wouldn't believe me. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have to drive out to Lancaster from LA, which is like an hour. So I drove out there and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna, power through this. I was sick as a dog. And I'm in like the lunchroom where we're doing the training. And I'm like, okay, here we go. And as I'm about to train, I just get so nauseous. And luckily, there's a huge, like, round garbage can pretty close. So I just go, excuse me, everybody. And I walk over to it and I just go, and I just start hurling, just hurl. I'm about to begin my thing. I got the PowerPoint up and, I got my clicker in my hand. I'm like, and obviously half the room leaves because I'm amazed anyone stayed while I'm doing this because you don't want to see that. It's disgusting, the smell, all that. So they fucking go run, scurry. Some stayed. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm going to have to leave. I can't. I just threw up in the garbage. I can't do. And sure enough, like I call my boss and I'm like, hey man, yeah, I'm sick. I came here and I threw up in the garbage can. And he still, I don't think, believed me. So I'm like, I could just feel it. I was getting that vibe. So I'm like, here's the sales manager. And the sales manager's like, yeah, you threw up in the friggin' thing. And I'm like, okay. Once the sales manager, said it, but I'm like, really, I'm gonna make that up. That's a story I'm gonna make up. I'm like, come on, man. Yeah. So that's what I remember about Lancaster. Good times. Yeah, Lancaster, Palmdale. Oh, yeah, Rose. Yeah, it's all dumps down there. I used to go to Lancaster, Palmdale. Well, not use it like a couple times. I was working for Hyundai, and I would do like these aftermarket shows. Like Hyundai had they were trying to get into racing, like aftermarket kits and things like that for I think the Tiburon. And so they would send me down to the drag strip there. They have a drag strip there where anybody can come with their car, their kitted out car, their do it yourself car. And you can just go on the drag strip and you can race each other. So I just remember that was at least fun, because I could sit there on a break or something and just watch people in these old Chevettes or just these cars they stripped all the chairs out of and put in some, stock engine, and just it was fun, But would I want to live there? No, no thanks, man. No thank you. No bueno. No gracias. All right, everybody. I've had a great time. I think we did a long show tonight. We did almost an hour and a half, but I had a great time. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you also for being so active in the comments. And it's kind of cool. Like the goal of the show really is to not even really do the Reddit stuff so much, but to have you all just call in or come in the chat and then just solve problems, and work together as a team and a group to make all our lives better, really. So thank you for doing that. Thank you, Salty, and I'm glad things are working out for you. And thank you, everybody else. And I know I don't want to, Mark, thank you for tuning in. T Heights, thank you as well for sharing. And everybody, thank you for being a Pure Blood. Thank you, brother. Relax McGroin. Thank you, everybody. So yeah, I'll be back tomorrow at my regular time. I'm going to hit the airport to go get my fiance. And yeah, that's the plan. Yeah, good night. God bless you. It was fun. I had a good time tonight. And yeah, in case you didn't hear the beginning of the show, my show Autastic is going to be playing at a college in the fall. So, thank you. Thank you, God. We'll keep this thing going and try and get this show hit as many places as possible and hopefully start touring with it. And I can all catch you out on the road there, Don't get emotional on us right now. Yeah, God bless you too. Yeah, thank you, brother. Once in a while it's going to happen. Yeah, I got to get a little emotional. All right, I love you all. God bless you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow at regular time, 10 p.m. Remember, if you've got a problem, I've got an answer. I'm Jeff, the unlicensed therapist. Thanks, everybody. Good night.